Greetings and salutations.
Hey guys, I'm Sam. This is the After the Bars podcast. Happy Friday. Man, it's been super screaming hot in my neck of the woods. Man, I just can't believe how hot it is today. But that's good because it's been really, really wet here. So some of that moisture is drying up a little bit. I left the sunroof open in my truck the other night and it poured rain. So the sun's helping drying my seats and the water that's all over the carpet. Yeah, I haven't shared that with you guys yet. Yeah, so it's been pretty wet. So now it's gonna dry up pretty quick. The girls are gone to a barbecue and swimming, so it's just little old me here at home. So I thought I would knock out a show that I've been wanting to do for a couple of days. First, it's an emotional show for me to do. So I wasn't looking forward to doing it, but it was a show that I feel like with my history with friends unaliving themselves, it's definitely a show that I needed to do. So trigger warning for tonight. We're not going to talk a lot about unaliving per se, but people that have unalived themselves and then bullying. It's going to be kind of a serious show, but it's going to be an awesome show at the same time. This is Sam, and where are we?
Welcome to the After the Bars podcast, and this is Late Night Mayhem with Sam Yarbrough.
I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,
Wake up, Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is morning mayhem. Welcome to the show.
Okay, guys, let's check in with the chat real quick. I'm just gonna say hi to everyone. We'll just kind of do a quick little itty bitty roll call. Hey, Auntie Monkey Pants, good to see you. Blah blah. Thea, how are you doing tonight? Danette, you're the whack job, not me. Good to see you. Gaylin, hey, good to see you, Gaylin. Kim, good morning. Good morning to you. I'm just kidding. Who else is here? Who else is here? Auntie Monkey Pants DM. Hey, Darcy's, how are you doing tonight? Lynn Rundell, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a couple of shows. I could be totally wrong though, but I'm almost positive that's the case. Angela, good to see you. Who else is in the house tonight? None of my boys are here tonight. Hey, Thompson, good to see you. We're gonna save comments and questions for the end of the show, so I'll let you guys know when I'm gonna do that. That way I don't have to backtrack. And I had my laptop completely crash like a half hour before the show. I tried to hook up a different camera to the laptop, but that camera takes a lot of resources and it just wasn't handling it. I've had the camera, I just haven't gotten around to like playing with it yet. So I went back to the old faithful. Hey, Timeout, how are you doing today? It has really shocked me too, Timeout, and I appreciate you participating in the chat. I don't know if you're a new watcher or an old watcher, but I really appreciate you being here. And this is definitely in memorial of Mikayla. And so I guess let's just start off the show a little bit by I'm going to play a statement from her organization, and let's just play that real quick.
Hi, everyone. I just want to start this video out by saying parental advisory. This is not a video for children. And a trigger warning. Some of the things you're about to hear are going to be triggering for some people. I don't have approval from the board to make this video, but I have to say what needs to be said. I have to. This is a video I never planned on making. And it's completely devastating
So
having to sit down and write this out. But a couple days ago, Mikayla Raines passed away. This is the most hurtful and difficult time of my life, so please bear with me as I try to read this through the tears. Mikayla was the most bright and shining example of what you could accomplish if you really set your mind to something. She was never held back by ideas that everyone else considered unrealistic. As many of you know, she was on the autism spectrum, and while that made her life very difficult, it allowed her to hyper-focus on one thing, and that one thing was obviously animals. From a young age, she dedicated every waking hour of her life to helping them, whether it was helping a snapping turtle cross the road or saving 500 foxes from a terrible fur farm. She was never in it for fame, money, or personal gain. She was truly one of the most selfless people I have ever known. She put the animals' well-being over her own time and time again. She would forgo sleep, eating, and showering if there was an animal that needed her help. And it was not just foxes. I've seen her help birds, reptiles, sheep, squirrels. I truly believe when it came to animals, she could do anything. She would build the strongest bonds with all of the animals here, constantly working to earn their trust and create a lasting connection. Every single animal here just lost their best friend. And over the course of her life, she was responsible for saving into the 4 figures of animals, and all of your support made that possible. She would always love the letters that you would send, the pictures and paintings that the children made, and the kind words and comments in your posts. Her words were heard by millions and has affected more lives personally than I could ever hope to count. She was not just a rescuer, but an advocate. Her legacy is Save a Fox. And despite her being the most important part of that, I am not going to let it stop here. I will do whatever I can to see Save a Fox keep moving forward to save as many lives as possible. I gave Mikayla all of my love and energy, and I will do the same with this rescue going forward. As long as you are all here to support us, we can do this. And I will try to keep the content coming since that is such an important part of our funding. As long as you all can continue donating, interacting online, buying merch, and coming here for tours, we can continue to help the many helpless animals that need us and educate and bring awareness to everyone. This is what Mikayla would want, and I have to see her goals and dreams be realized. Aside from being the amazing superhero of animals, Mikayla was also a wonderful wife and a caring mother. Every day I would wake up to a list from her on exactly what we needed to accomplish in the day. Her work ethic was, for lack of better words, relentless. But we did everything together. Despite her pouring out all of her love for the animals, she still found some love to give to me. I have never shared a bond with anyone the way I have with her. We spent nearly every moment of every day together. And now half of me is missing. Sorry. She had so many lofty goals and aspirations, and she would push and push until it got done. But despite all of this, she was a best friend to Freya. And every day she would teach her how to interact with, respect, and care for the animals here. They would go on pony rides together, swing in the fox yards, and take care of Freya's little cockroaches. The first thing Freya would want every morning is mommy. But through all of this, for her entire life, she struggled. She struggled with autism, with depression, with borderline personality disorder, and more. She was always in and out of different kinds of therapy, trying various mood stabilizers and meds, but nothing really seemed to help. Simple tasks were hard for her. Looking at her from the outside, you could never tell what was going on in her head, but even just socializing would send her over the edge. Looking at a cluttered restaurant menu would make her just want to leave. And wearing the jeans that she loved would give her so many sensory problems that it could ruin her entire day. And if you follow her personal page, she loved helping educate people about the problems that she and others faced on a daily basis. She would stay up late at night writing away about things out of her control and how she would attempt to cope with them. She made posts and discussed autism awareness so that it could be spread and help everyone understand just how difficult life can be for those on the spectrum. And she was so sensitive to everything, which is a double-edged sword because on one hand, it allowed her endless empathy for those in her care, but it also means that she took everything negative to heart. And now I want to talk about how words, whether spoken in person or written online, can affect someone.
Before I let him get into that part, I'm going to read a quick little story. I was going to do an outline and just speak from the outline, but I just decided to write a couple of paragraphs about what's going on and what we're talking about today. The online animal rescue community was rocked this week with the heartbreaking news of Mikayla Raines, founder of the widely, I had to make sure my microphone was on, of the widely beloved Save a Fox Rescue, reportedly taking her own life following relentless harassment campaigns targeting her online. The rescue, which provided sanctuary for domesticated foxes and other animals, had amassed over 2.5 million YouTube subscribers, making Raines a prominent figure in the animal welfare world. But behind the viral videos of rescued foxes playing, cuddling, and thriving, Raines was battling something far darker: a coordinated campaign of cruelty from online trolls. According to multiple sources and user investigations, much of the harassment stemmed from a snark subreddit, specifically r Save a Fox snark, which was created for the sole purpose of criticizing and spreading rumors about Raines. The subreddit housed a small group of users who posted the defamatory claims ranging from animal abuse to exploiting her OnlyFans presence. Raines attempted to defend herself, and I'm going to show those posts here in a minute. She attempted to defend herself directly on the subreddit, a rare and desperate move for someone of her public stature. Screenshots show her pleading for facts and trying to dispel lies, but the toxic environment showed no interest in truth, only takedown. Following her death, the internet investigators and supporters of Save a Fox began digging into those responsible. At least 3 main figures have emerged as central in the harassment. Marissa D'Anzo, her Reddit alias is Casio, the king of the Fluth. She's a self-identified trans furry from Georgia. D'Anzo was one of the most vocal and malicious critics of Raines. After Raines' death, D'Anzo posted defiantly. Look, I have no issues with furries or people with alternative lifestyles. No one's here to shame furries. They like to dress up and they feel more comfortable in animal outfits. I'm not here to spread shade on what that person does in their personal life. That's just what she claims to be, and that she's also a trans male into female. The second one is Owl Video Cute. I always have a hard time reading these Reddit names. I just want to make sure I got it right. There it is. Is the Owl Video Cute is the other one. And she's just been highly vocal in the harassment of Mikayla Raines, spreading lies and rumors for absolutely no reason. Let me finish. I'll read the other thing. And the last one is Muse ID. Both of those people aren't on any other platforms but Tumblr. I have no idea what Tumblr does or what they do to exist or what kind of platform it is. But if people like this are on it, I want no part of it. But what I'm calling for is I'm calling for change. As tributes pour in for Mikayla Raines, many are asking, how far is too far online? What's the difference between criticism and digital stalking? YouTube personalities like Ethan Klein have come out, who have also been stalked. Ethan made a post on Instagram. You guys have probably heard of Ethan Klein. He's on the H3 podcast. They're calling for Reddit to be investigated, as these snark communities often blur the lines between accountability and cyberbullying. While free speech is protected, and let me be loud and clear about this, while free speech is protected, doxing, coordinated harassment, and anonymous defamation have very real-world consequences. And this is one of those real-world consequences. When people are allowed to post anonymously, they feel like, especially if they have bullying in their nature, or they're jealous, or they just don't like someone, or they're prettier than they are, or more handsome than they are, or they have more, or they're more successful. They feel like that they can say whatever they want. They feel like they can spread lies. They feel like they can dox their whereabouts, and it's defamatory. And in this case, that real world consequence is that cost someone their life, because they well knew of her mental health issues. They knew she was severe autistic when it came to dealing with her mental health issues. We have a few people in our community here on After the Bars that have autistic children, some that are actually autistic themselves. We have two of our viewers that are autistic. I haven't seen them in the chat a while. But this woman wasn't a controversial figure. She saved animals. That was it. And she yes, she was on OnlyFans, but she used her OnlyFans money, and you can tell by the way she lived, and by her, like, her boyfriend was just some normal regular guy, and she was like supermodel gorgeous. She didn't care about all that, about the glitz and the glam. Every penny she had, she dumped into this animal rescue. And I guess that wasn't enough to not make her a target from these people. Ethan Klein said in his post, exactly what our snarkers do: maximum cruelty with zero accountability. Reddit knows, they allow it, they defend it, and it seems like that some even participate in it. Reddit must be investigated and held accountable. I agree. I don't participate on Reddit. I know there's some Reddit communities that that participate in kind of trolling Tommy Scoville and Relatable Reese, and I've never ever said that that was okay. I've never participated in those subreddits. The two times that I have commented it was to stick up for Reese, and that was after we had a falling out. And but I just didn't understand that whole, what a snark community was, I just knew that that one felt super ugly. And I tried to find out more information on the trolls that were on there, but I don't want to make this about them tonight. I want to make this about Mikayla and her family and her organization. And I'm going to put some links in the description that everyone can go check out her rescue. Donate if you can. If you can, that's fine. I'm going to, as soon as I get caught up and get back to work, I'm going to make a donation from After the Bars for the way you guys helped me out during this time of my need. This is a diagram from the snark communities and the subreddits created per month. Look at the increase since 2022. It has gone from 25 subreddits that are snark accounts a month to, at its peak, almost 300 snark bullying Reddit accounts a month. And now it's like averaging out between 150 and 225. That's every month a subreddit that's created to be snarky, to be bullying, to be judgy. I have people that I hang out with that are they're my Christian brothers and sisters, and whenever they hear me get like judgmental, or I say something that might not please God, or like even like unsavory for my friends to even hear, and it's never like cruel, but like it can be just something like lightweight, and they always say like, man, you're talking about one of God's children. And it always snaps me right back. It always snaps me back. And we have to remember that even if it's someone we disagree with or we don't like, that person was created from our Creator. And if you can want to believe in God or not believe in God, or believe in some of it, not all of it, I think science is definitively proven and some want to disagree, but we're not here to talk about that tonight or to argue it or to debate it. That we have been created. Now, the dogma of religion, who knows, but that the creatures that are on this world were created. That is true too. When I time out humanity says hurt people, it's too much pain. It's true. And when I seen that this person was a let's go back to the picture of this main troll that cyberbullied Mikayla. This person does not look happy. And I'm gonna say it, and I have gay brother, I have gay friends, I've kissed a guy, and that's a whole funny story, but and I've told that story before, and I don't do that to justify for what I'm about to say, because what I'm gonna say might not be agreed by all, but it's what I've known to be a pattern of not all trans people. I have 2 trans friends in LA. Not all, but they had rough childhoods, and they were hurt. But what I've seen a lot in when these beautiful women, straight women, are bullied, it's sometimes usually from a trans person who's been hurt themselves. And I don't know if this person has been hurt, but to be a furry, that doesn't scream stability, right? And that's not me judging the lifestyle. When I was a drug addict shooting 5 grams of heroin a day, that didn't scream stability either. I'm just saying, it's really sad. And hurt people. So thank you for saying that, time out, humanity. Casio Lion doubled down after the she unalived herself. She said, "You act like I went to Mikayla's house, sliced her open, and left her to bleed out. All I did was put together a few sources pointing out some things she did wrong. I had no hand in bullying of any kind," which she did. "Of any kind. Even if I did, you're no better for calling me slurs, telling me you're going to dox me, and sending me instructions on how to kill myself, which none of that is okay. You ask me if I'm proud of myself. If I kill myself with the guides you sent me, would you be proud of yourself? Get real." Yeah, it's how about not saying anything? Or maybe if you had something to say, maybe just like, I'm sorry this happened to her. Maybe we went too far. Not saying I'm responsible, because in the end, I am not. Look, Mikayla, and I use my real world experience for this. My friend Christina, who killed herself, and I've talked about her many times on this channel, and we're going to be talking about her a lot more in September. Look, I can blame myself. I could blame her husband for being an asshole and stalking her, and and being abusive to her physically and mentally. I could blame those people all day, every day. But she was a strong woman, and even though she had mental health issues, she was in her addiction. She inevitably chose to take herself out, to leave this world by her own hand. And so did Mikayla, and that sucks. But, and I'll say a but, she was pushed in that direction. She was pushed in that direction. And the bullies that I'm talking about today are just the ones that I've identified. They're just the ones I've identified. It doesn't mean they were the only ones. And here's her actual post that she posted. And look, to be fair, also, this wasn't a big, huge subreddit. I think they had. Oh, I've been blocked off of it, so now I can't go on it. Because they've had a lot of attention to their subreddit. I can't remember, like 9 members and maybe like 20 posts or something like that. I can't remember, over like a year. It wasn't very many at all. Not like Un-Relatable Reese. Like hers is like a daily, and there's I guess hundreds of people. I can't remember. It's all wrong. I don't think people should be able to propagate hate and be anonymous. I don't think they should spew hate at all, but we do have free speech. We do have free speech. And with that free speech, though, I feel like we have a responsibility. And it doesn't mean because we have free speech that we are allowed to spew hate and to bully the undefendable, people who can't defend themselves, meaning they don't know who their attackers are, and it's done online and it's done anonymously, and it's ugly. Right? It's super ugly. I can't remember what I said in my description. Yeah, that, and I said what I said. I go, this isn't about silencing dissent. It's about protecting lives. I'll be unmasking the creeps behind Mikayla Raines' hate campaign and break down why Reddit must take action against weaponized anonymity. And that's what I'm talking about, how it's been weaponized. Because when you are anonymous, you have a certain amount of power with no consequences. We have free speech. We are not free to abuse. And I'm going to start a hashtag campaign from now until the end of September called free speech, not free abuse. Not free abuse. Hashtag free speech, not free abuse. And it's not even anything that I need to over explain or even Sam-splain, even though I know some of you come here for that, for me to give a big Sam-splanation. Ooh, that's the first time I've said that. It's common sense. It's common sense. But like Time Out Humanity said, hurt people, too much pain. It's true. Hey, Jackie, I'm so glad you're here tonight. I really am. No, you don't. Jackie, you don't. Yeah, you don't. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Sorry. I was going to elaborate a little bit, but this is from Neo V1. Redditor named Kazio Lion is confirmed to be one of the bullies who harassed Mikayla. This individual seems to be doubling down on the harassment. And here's another thing about this person, and this is more part of her hurt. This person is not self-proclaimed, but she is talked about having zoophilia tendencies with her cat. She said, or he said, I don't know what their pronouns are. He said, I hate these thoughts and I don't want to have them, but they always find their way into my brain, and it makes me feel a lot like a monster. What if I'm doing something to him? I don't want to. I'm not planning to. Talking about molesting their cat. That is not someone that's put together. And I feel like this person has taken their own pain and lashed out at poor Mikayla. And all Mikayla ever wanted to do was to rescue animals. Kay the Floppa posted back in 2022, please report and block Kazio Lion. He is a known zoophile who has publicly posted about sexually preferring cat genitalia. Excuses his zoophilia with his ZOCD, supports bi lesbians while speaking over lesbians as a bi trans man, and many other things. He is a problematic person who should not be supported at all. I don't think this person should be supported for being a bully, period. These are just some reblogs. Hold on. I have the story regarding this. People have had enough with Zoo Lion or whatever the hell his name is on Reddit, and is the owl video cute? They've had enough. This another anonymous person asked, you say that you didn't make her kill herself, but you sent a lot of people to attack her. Geez, go fuck off and never come back. When these people, sorry, I was reading a comment. I'm going to star your comment, Jackie, because I do have some things to say about that too. These people knew her mental health situation. She was very open about it. She was a advocate for mental health matters, because of her platform was so big, over 2.5 million subscribers, that she knew she could use her platform to talk about her mental health and maybe help someone. And even with her autism, she struggled really heavily with her autism. She had that kind of autism, not as severe as John Lazon's daughter, but severe like that, that could control her emotions. She obsessed on things. So when she found this subreddit of these people attacking her, she couldn't not obsess on it. And it sent her down into a spiral tunnel of depression and of thoughts that led her to unalive herself. And that's why our people in our community need to have almost a little more protection from trolls and bullies, especially our creators that are coming out and speaking about their mental health issues, who are brave enough to come online to talk about their mental health issues, to be there for someone else who has or could have or be going through the same things that they are going through. Seeing people like Mikayla, she could have been saving someone else's life by saying, like, look, I'm okay today and I'm making it. Some days I have bad days, some days I have good days, but these are the things that I go through. And then to go out and attack that person because they're trying to save animals. These people, their attacks were saying that she was cruel to animals. I must say, it doesn't make much sense to me. And not having I don't know a ton about Save a Fox Foundation. I don't. I've seen it before. Someone asked me to draw something. I can't remember. It wasn't for them, but it was for someone that was affiliated with them to draw a logo or something like that. I can't remember. But I was just thinking when I drew Reese a fox logo for her. No, I mean, that wasn't that situation, but to spend every last cent they have on rescuing animals, I can't imagine that same person rescuing these animals to be cruel to them. Now I get it. There's cruelty like not being able to feed the animals. They have too many animals to feed or to house. And maybe at one point she didn't have enough space for each animal to have clearly their own space to live. I don't know. I'm speculating on what it could be that Mikayla wouldn't have control over, or maybe overpromised and underdelivered on having enough space. But she kept growing and growing and growing, and she gives tours there now. I mean, it's big enough for people to come tour, and they had employees. Look, if you have 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube, you're making between $30,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 a month. That is plenty of money to take care of these animals. So I do know that they were saying that she didn't have enough money to take care of the animals. She did that, and also OnlyFans, where she posed with the animals, and not in a sexual way, just in some like classy like lingerie, and took pictures with the animals. There was nothing sexual about it, not even close. She didn't do the content for zoophilia viewers. I wish one of you guys knew my wife's number and you could text her that I'm live. Let me just text her. Hold on, I'm just going to answer real quick. Hey, I'm live.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Well, you knew that, honey. Remember?
Forgot.
Oh, okay. All right. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. She's like, I forgot. No, I forgot where I was. Well, oh yeah. What possibly it could be. But let's just say, even if let's just say that, yeah, maybe she was over packed with animals for a little while. She was always working on to improve and to make those things better. And she was always working on ways to fundraise and to raise money herself. And oh yeah, I was talking about her OnlyFans content not being of a sexual nature, at least the ones where she did the pictures with the animals. I don't know anything about her other OnlyFans. Still, it doesn't mean that she's allowed to be bullied. And at some point, the internet's going to have to correct itself, right? It's turned too far to the left, and no political meaning at all by that. I'm just mean the vehicle is turned too far left. And so there needs to be a correction. And even if that correction is an overcorrection, and then we can even it back out, I'd rather have an overcorrection of accountability for people who bully people online, which causes harm. I'd rather have an overcorrection of free speech and then bring it back to center than not enough, right? Because not enough means people are still going to get hurt. It means people are still going to be able to say hateful things directed at individuals. Now, when it's, and I didn't mean to even, this is just a thought that came to me. Now, when it's group bullying, like, screw Antifa, that's different. That's different. We should be allowed to have free speech when it comes to organizational issues that are in our community that we might differ with. To the nth degree, right? There should be no what's the word I'm looking for? There should be no censoring. I'll just say it's not the word I was looking for, but we'll say there should be no censorship on that. Oh yeah, this is what was responded. It's because she's blank, but it's also because people would rather watch soft, cute videos of fluffy animals than focus on the atrocities their countries commit. Oh yeah. I forgot about this. So this person is the owl. Is the owl video cute? Get my fix so I don't have to keep smoking. This person had the balls to say, this is low-key hilarious to watch all these other anons get so worked up about this. There are people getting bombed in the Middle East, and you all care more about an animal abuser committing suicide. That statement is first of all, it's disingenuous because that person could care less about what's happening in the Gaza Strip or in Palestine, but they want to say, that this is somehow closely even related, or we should be more worried about the Gaza Strip than this beautiful soul, Mikayla Raines, unaliving herself. That's pretty disingenuous to me. And this is so here's some of the reasons why she was being bullied. And so Mikayla posted, Milo had to be put down today. Went to the fur farm and picked up some new rescues. Really emotionally trolling day. Really sucks. So I guess in these fur farms where they make coats and things, they breed these foxes. Well, she goes there and she buys them from them so they don't get murdered, basically. And Is the Owl Video Cute said, this is such a bizarre way of saying she went and bought new foxes from a fur farm. How is that? How is that a bizarre way of saying she went and rescued some foxes? I mean, she's rescuing them from death. As much as she could afford, she would do that. And as much space as she could spare, she would do that. And these people felt the need that this person needed to be bullied. And here she's asking for people to weld her a cage for a mink that can't escape and can't chew through. You know, she's just asking for people to help her out. So here's an official statement from one of the bullies that bullied Miss Mikayla. Is the Owl video cute? Said, I strongly encourage anyone in the U.S. to report her to USFWS. She has no business with those animals, and I doubt she is properly licensed for them. There are also known to eat house cats, which this woman has several wandering around. I would not be shocked if they would go after one of the smaller foxes either. Adding to this post again that this woman has even more exotics than she lets the public know about, despite already being very transparent the hoarding situation. So I was right. It was about maybe not having enough space to house her animals. About this, her husband bought her a pair of jackals, which she has bred and took the pups from on day one to bottle feed. Why? She doesn't say. More than likely just to imprint them onto her completely, I suppose. Despite this being horribly outside the best interest of the animals, it is critical for pups to be with their mother during this developmental stage. She doesn't know the situation. Maybe the mother got sick or wasn't mothers shun their little ones, especially if it's a stressful situation, which possibly it can be. Anything that's not natural or nature, it's going to be stressful for the animal. But if she's rescuing these animals, it's better than what the alternative is, even though it goes against their nature. Do you know what I mean? It's just horrible practice that I have quite literally only seen done by puppy mills and exotic traffickers, which she rescues animals from these mills. I've quite literally only seen this from no good reason to do it unless mother passes away, and even then a foster is still better. She ripped day-old pups from their mother because she wanted to. She doesn't know why she took them from their mother. She wanted to have a special bond by hand imprinting a super exotic species. She wanted pups easier to sell for big money as affectionate and calm animals, great for education programs, etc. It's better. Remember, she's rescuing these animals. And if she can rehome some of them, how is that a bad thing? Here's one of her posts that she did with some of her foxes. I think this is a gorgeous picture, and I'm not talking about her in lingerie. I'm not a fan of lingerie. You can even ask my wife. But I think the picture in itself is an amazing picture. Look, those are wild foxes that she rescued. And I think that's an amazing picture. There's nothing wrong with posting photos of yourself in lingerie for any reason, but wild animals really don't need to be used as props in photo shoots meant to be provocative. It gives the message that you truly see them as a status symbols and objects more than you see them as wild animals. I don't think that she feels that way at all. No one dedicates their life to have these animals. Now, if you have one or two, say you spend a bunch of money on one or two, yeah, then that's like a status symbol. Like look at, and you take pictures. Yeah, it's a status symbol or whatever you want to call it. It's a luxury item to have. You know, Michael Jackson had a giraffe for Christ's sakes. But having a rescue sanctuary for these animals, I think it's just silly. Ethan gave me this Miata. He just has no memory of this transaction. I don't know what that means. But her husband, I guess, collects sports cars. So the Night Owl, or whatever the hell her name is, she's an animal hoarder through and through. Anyone who ever had or at least attempted to own one horse knows how expensive these animals are on their own, and she owns multiple, plus sheep, plus the dog, plus the cats, plus the foxes, plus the minks, plus the jackals. Look, I have friends that live 5 blocks down from where I live who have all of those animals except for the jackals, but they have tons of horses, cows, cats, dogs, mice, raccoons, pet raccoons. This is nothing that's abnormal, and to abuse her for that or to bully her for that, it makes no sense. You know what I actually think? The hair pisses me off enough to add this post too, because seriously, what is this? Now she's just bullying her on her hair. So like, look, even if your previous post had any credit at all or any validity to them at all, when you shame her on her hairstyle, that discredits anything you ever said before that. It just does. It shows that your heart is not in the right place. It shows that you are that you don't like this person as a person, as a human being, not because of her business or what she does. I'm really investigating on what connection this person has, both of those people, of what they have to Mikayla. Like, maybe they were cheerleaders on the same cheerleading team, or or old childhood friends who had a falling out. It almost has to be something personal, and then because they're just too snarky, right? So the third bully, hold on, let me vape real quick. The third bully, and guys, I'll read super chats at the end. I'm not going to read super chats during the live. Sorry. The third bully said, in light of what happened, are there any things you would have changed in regards to your post history regarding SAF, meaning her Fox Foundation? I'm guessing. This is not at all to be accusatory, because again, she made the decision to do that. It doesn't let these girls off the hook, though, or guys. This is not on the accusatory, but I think it's important for the internet at large to consider where the line between rightful callouts and fuel for harassment campaigns is drawn, because it is often an extremely nebulous and ill-defined line, and one that really needs to be nailed down. And that's what I was talking about earlier. There needs to be, even if we overcorrect, that line needs to be nailed down, and there needs to be consequences. And those consequences, I mean, it doesn't mean people have to go to jail, because they're not threats to come blow you up or to do things that are to hurt the person, right? They're just, talking about their business. And it's when you form a group just to talk about a single person, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong there. If it's not facts, like defamation, facts ain't defamation, right? We've said that before here at After the Bars. Yeah, there are just a couple. Mostly whenever I started speculating, I should have kept things simple and factual. Agreed. Instead of publicly sharing my theories about her plans in life. Not covering her baby's face when I shared a screenshot of her post is another regret I have. Pretty much any time I made a factual error, even though I corrected them ASAP, the original post with the wrong info was still shared more than I like. But yeah, for the most part, any regrets I have when it comes to my previous posts are from saying things like this. Honestly, ATP, it really does sound like rescuing these foxes is just an excuse to buy another property, though there's been no mention of islands yet. Like, why even mention that? Why say that that's a bad thing? And in turn, I'm sad that Mikayla took it as a bad thing, but it's what it was. But that was their that's where their heart was with this. So now they're saying, what? So I was barely aware that she even had this bobcat. Who cares? In the first place, let alone that she still has it. She's only ever mentioned it like once before now. According to my spreadsheet, which I really need to finish, it was first and last mentioned in 2017, possibly a post made by a visitor and not actually Mikayla herself. Like, this is stalking since 2017. And I know you guys are going to say, well, yeah, isn't this like what people do to like people, creators like Tommy Scoville and Relatable Reese? And it is. And maybe it's wrong. But I think those people do call out a lot of facts. And facts ain't defamation. You know, but I can disagree with that. It should be done every single day, or that there should be whole, you know, subreddits dedicated to talking about her makeup, or, you know, things like that, body shaming her. Because that is not cool. It's not cool. So this is number 2 and 3 is the owl video queue. And what's this mustle ID? What's this must ID? Mustle? I don't know how to pronounce that. It's not a real word. It's probably some kind of internet thing. So I found this statement from Casio Lion, or whatever, wildlife rehab. She made on wildlife rehab. And this is what she wrote. Several years ago, I wrote an informational post explaining why a prominent figure in the animal rescue community is not the saint people think she is. There you go. Technically, I don't even need to read the rest of this, but I'm going to, because I want to know what it says exactly. But technically, that just goes to show you what her agenda and motivation is. She is super jealous of, or he is super jealous of this person. Or he's a furry animal thing. It is totally jealous of this person, of Mikayla, not this person, of Mikayla. If I was reading this, say Mikayla hadn't taken her own life. If I was reading this, I would, and I just say I came across it, I would get to that first statement and be like, oh, okay, there's going to be some bias here. This person doesn't like this person. It looks like my tooth is dirty. Oh, it's like a shadow, a weird shadow of my crooked teeth. Rescue community is not the same people think she is. Now I alone am being blamed for her suicide. A video dropped today announcing Mikayla Raines of Save a Fox's death. Ever since my notifs have been overflowing with her meat riders, people have obviously brigaded my posts and comments on various subs. You people are calling me slurs, threatening to dox me, and telling me to unalive myself, as well as somehow you're the good guys. I bet if I were to actually unalive myself, you'd be very quiet. When I first found out what happened in the very heat of the moment, I felt no remorse. Then a pit made itself known in my stomach. and began to expand. But now, with the way you people are behaving, the guilt is starting to wane. What a piece of shit, dude. What a piece of, like, oh, at first I had no remorse, but then I was starting to. But because I'm being called out, then, now I don't. So, you better be nice to me or else I'm not going to feel remorse. Like, what the F? How does that make sense? Yeah, like, you guys better stop or else I'm not going to have any remorse for what I did. F off, dude. I am proud of the fact that I was able to raise awareness of her wrongdoings. What I'm not proud of is that people took her death as an invitation to hold me personally responsible. That statement doesn't even make sense. You can't be proud or not proud of what other people are doing. It makes no sense. You're just trying to be snarky. And the dude is obviously an idiot. Responsible. Do you really think Mikayla went, oh no, 2 years ago, a small furry creator on the internet said, I am not perfect, time to kill myself? It's not true. Those aren't real statement. That's not a real statement. You probably won't believe me when I say this, but I was never a part of the SAF snark subreddit. I never even knew it existed before today. Lies. I just showed a 2-month-old comments, a month-old comment, a week-old comment. I just showed them. So that's a bull-faced lie. Since the initial announcement, over 40 people, yes, over 40 of them have wished various things like bankruptcy and homelessness on me and telling me to rope myself and to do it. And that is not cool. I mean, we aren't saying that that's a good thing to do. After the Bars does not support that. After the Bars doesn't support, even if you have nothing nice to say, bam, say nothing at all, for real. To do what she did among other graphic instructions to Unalive, as if they're any better for it. This just in. You're not. However bad you think I am, you're only proving yourself to be worse. Well, I wouldn't say worse, and I'm not talking about me or us as a community because we're just reporting it. I wouldn't say worse because they're just doing to you what you did to her, which is not okay. It's not okay, but that doesn't make them worse. It makes them the same. But because this person wants to be on its like high horse or whatever. Another thing I've seen is people pulling the autism card. Newsflash: autism doesn't give you impunity from animal abuse. I should know since I have it too. I bet you he doesn't. I bet you he doesn't have it. I've never heard of an autistic person being a furry or having sexual proclivities of being with the opposite sex ever. Not saying it doesn't exist, just saying that it's not a normal thing. This person just wants attention and to be right and to all the things. If Mikayla cannot be blamed for her fox's easily preventable deaths, then I cannot be blamed for her own death. If you're going to blame anyone, blame the Tumblr users. What's this idea? And is this Fox video cute for bringing to my attention everything wrong with SAF? I simply compiled the information they had given me. That is not bullying. From what's... Hold on, I got to move this over, guys. That is not bullying. From what's this misidea? Ethan specifically pointed out that the loudest voices affecting Mikayla were people she knew in other animal sanctuaries, not a random Tumblr blog that gets less than 100 notes on each post. This post probably won't make things any better for me, but what you're doing now certainly isn't making things any better, I guess they were saying. So now I'm gonna finish the video.
For a few years, a group of people had been throwing dirt on Mikayla's name and the rescue. Most of these are people she knew, and some of them are other animal sanctuaries. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Mikayla took it all to heart.
Don't worry about that.
And it hurt her. It hurt her a lot. But she pushed through. For years, she pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down and the mental challenges she faced, and she still rescued hundreds of animals and changed the lives of so many. But recently, more of the rude words, accusations, and name-calling came from some of those she considered close friends. I think all of this stems from jealousy and envy. But she felt as if the entire world had turned against her. She had always battled with borderline personality disorder causing emotional instability, as well as impulsive behaviors. But this time it went too far. She couldn't bear what she was feeling any longer. And she ended her life. And it breaks my heart that someone who is selfless and devoted her life to animals could have so much negativity pointed at her. Why? That's all I can ask is why. In a world that's filled with darkness, she was just light. She was just light. And to those of you that pushed her to this, every one of you that had been responsible for making her feel this way, I wish you had to see me find her. And I wish you had to watch me perform CPR on her for 15 minutes until the first responders arrived. And I wish you had to watch helplessly as paramedics attempted to revive her lifeless body. And I wish you had to hear the screams and the cries of her family. I wish you had to see tiny heartbroken Freya try to understand why she could never see her mommy again. I wish you understood what you were doing before you did it, before it had to go this far. And I wish you understood that words do have real and terrible consequences. If you only have negative garbage to say, just shut up. And if you are feeling lost and hopeless, please reach out to someone, whether it's friends and family or calling a hotline. And to everyone else, please keep an eye on those around you. Look for the signs because they are there. Do something or say something before it's too late. Despite this being the biggest loss of my life and feeling like I have a literal hole in my chest, I will not let Mikayla's light be extinguished. And I won't let negativity win. And I won't let her mission fall apart. I am going to continue to push to rescue the remaining fur farm foxes, and after that, save as many animals as possible. But I will need your help. As long as you guys will continue to support all of us here at Save a Fox, we will keep pushing forward. I'm confident we can bring more light to this world, and we'll be doing it for Mikayla. For now, we all just need some space and some privacy but I'll soon discuss a day where everyone can come here and pay their final respects. And I'm just going to end it with, I love you, Mikayla. I will always love you so much. And I miss you.
Um, let me take this down. The sorry guys, this is all funky. Sorry, something's playing and I can't figure out what it is. 1 second, guys. Um, yeah, that guy was feeling, I know that pain of when you lose someone. The and that's close to you. I feel like he had the same exact best friendship that I had with Christine. And some people have saying, "Oh, he's fake crying." You can tell it's fake crying. If when he turned sideways, there was tears and snot running down like off of his face. To say that he was faking it, is crazy. But yeah, it was he had big time snot face. Hey, what's up? Okay, please check your phone. Okay, I will. I don't even know where my phone's at right this second. I think Hazley's got it. Okay, check my email now. Okay. All right, where the heck's my phone? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Easy enough. Thank you. Yeah, that's I don't know what Linda was talking about, but I just deleted everything. So snot face, thank you. Yeah, I got rid of it. Who knows? So yeah, that's Linda, who, remember, her whole family said that I killed her. Yeah. So, but I've known. Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm finding Linda's on all these, making comments on like videos that on my other channels, and yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. She was hurt. I don't have any. Yeah, you guys can ban her or delete or do whatever you guys feel you need to do. Yeah, I trust you guys in your judgment. You don't ever have to ask like permission. Just like, don't ban the person. Just time them out and then let me know what was happening, and then I'll make the decision if the person needs to be banned or not. because we're not banning free speech, like, you know, but I feel, because especially Linda, since Linda told everyone in the world that, pretending to be her daughter, that I killed her and stole money from her, which is not even close to being true. I mean, everyone knows. I've showed all the receipts for all that. But yeah, it's she's crazy. I'm sorry, she's nuts, man. And not in a good way. Not in a good way. So yeah, man, it's see, now I don't remember where I was. Anyways, that guy was feeling it, man. You know, it's funny. I seen Linda in the chat. I was like, oh, that can't be the long deceased Linda. There's no way. I appreciate Eileen coming out and saying that. Thank you so much. For getting attacked, man. And you know what's crazy is that Linda, her original beef with me was because this is what set her off, and I can show it and replay it or whatever. Was, remember, she really wanted to be backstage and star comments, so I was like, okay. And then that same week, StreamYard took that option away. Like, they just don't do it anymore. They don't, no matter what subscription level you have, no one backstage can start comments. You used to be able to do that, but it just happened to be the same week that became her job. And so she said that I didn't know what I was doing, and that I gave her a job that I couldn't provide. And I'm like, what? That doesn't even make sense. She said I couldn't provide the job that I promised her. Well, no, first of all, you begged for the job, like literally, like was like saying, because Woofy was gonna do it, but she was just saying that well, Woofy's better with people than I am. I just want to be in the back. Woofy communicates better with people. And I was like, well, we kind of already told Woofy, but so then I asked Woofy, I said, hey, I know we already promised this to you, but Linda doesn't feel comfortable, being in the chat. And anyways, yeah, that's what happened. And then next thing I know, we're sorry to tell you this, but Linda died because of sadness from the situation with me, or something crazy like that. I was like, what? No, she didn't. That's crazy. There's just no way. But anyways, I was just reading what Awaken said. You did good, mods. It was a test, in my opinion. We're all going to start going through more tests. The more good we do, it's going to happen. Yeah, man, that's so crazy. You said that, Awaken. So I went to marriage counseling today, and because I need it. And our therapist, she's a Christian, and we were just talking about how whenever we're talking about spiritual warfare, but whenever we're like, everything's like seems to be getting better or doing good, then like these tests do happen, right? These tests of faith, tests of everything, and they happen, but that's the universe, right? That's what grows us. That's what like keeps our spark ignited, and I know this is redundant to some of you, but some of you might not have heard it, that my belief that God is love and love is light. We are all sparks, right? We're all part of the same love. Like our actual being and our soul is actually just love. But because when we go into this body of flesh, that flesh has desires, and those desires are to be mean, to promiscuity, all the things that flesh and like our real flesh and, you know, the metaphorical flesh, desire. But with inside of us, love exists. Even though we might say snarky things or be bullies or do these things, even in like the bullies of Mikayla, like there's like a spark of love that exists in them, and that's their soul. Like, and they're here now to nurture and feed that soul with love. And but the flesh either lets it in or it doesn't, and that's, you know, that's when spiritual awakenings and all the things happen. But we're just what I was getting to was that we're just that spark of love trying to get back to our mothership of sorts. And I'm not to be Scientologist or Scientolog. I said this word before and I made it up. Scientological. But that, you know, we're just trying to get back to God, to be with God in that spark of love. But oh, I love that, Chrissy for Cats. We all work from a broken survival instinct that grows to bring us to God. Oh, that's awesome. Man, that's the best thing I've heard in months. Hold on, where's my phone? I just had my phone. Oh, there it is. I'm going to take a picture of it. I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. And that's so true. And I think the reason why that resonates with me so much is that we, like, even our relationships, you know, personal and interpersonal relationships, we respond. We don't always respond well to other people's trauma, right? Like, and I'll use my wife, for instance, like she has a lot of trauma and she has said this, she's talked about this. And I don't always respond well, and especially my trauma. So if I'm living in my bullshit, and I say trauma for a lack of a better term than what it is, but inevitably it's from trauma, and it's just like, it's just one trauma, but with tons of feelings and insecurities and all the things, right? Well, when I'm in any of those and I'm feeling any of those, even for a little bit, and she's, you know, coming at me from her trauma or responding in trauma, then I feel like I've just used the T word too many times right now, but and I respond to that trauma. That's what Christopher Katz-Newton was just talking about. And I love it. Very well said, Jen. It's Jen Marie says, and she says, it's sad when people have a false sense of self-importance and it bleeds over into our internet life. Yes. It is so sad. Hey, Jimena, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, so, you know, I just wanted to put those bullies on blast, basically. But I just didn't want to be like, you know, hey, you know, this chick got bullied. This chick, Mikayla. From what I've seen, Mikayla was an amazing woman. She cared for others. Yeah, maybe she had maybe too many animals or maybe, but you know, she always corrected. From what I've seen, she always corrected. I'm going to leave a link to her YouTube in the description. I'm going to leave a link to her YouTube video. I'm not going to link all the bully stuff or dox them or do anything like that. I just wanted to talk about them here and now, you know, and just to kind of expose them. And I want to figure out a way to, how can we, and I know this isn't the only bully case on the internet or the only time this has happened, and there's smarter people than me that are out there working on regulation and, Reddit and, how does Reddit make money from snarky things and how do they regulate it? They might not even have a way to do it. Like where's that line? Where do you say, okay, no, like this is too much. But then, even Facebook's model isn't, I think Facebook's is too much, right? Regulation. And then, Twitter X is not enough because they show all those like people, those videos of people getting hurt and unalived. So I don't know. You know what? We're just going to have to just announce it and speak it out when we see it. And then that's all we can do. And make people aware of it and make people aware that here at After the Bars, we're not going to participate in that. We're not going to say it's okay for these bullies to bully a Save a Fox creator who all she was trying to do was, be happy and to save the, some of God's creatures. We're not going to let that happen. And well, I mean, we can't stop it, but when we do see it happen from this point forward with other creators, we're going to put a spotlight on it and say, hey, like, look, this isn't okay. This isn't cool. So anyways, what else is going on in the old chatty chat of mine? Chatty chatters. I know I'm a whack job. Yeah, that's super cool. Amena. I caught one of your shows recently. I can't remember which one. Like, look, guys, I know I haven't checked my email in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, really since I hurt my thumb. Not that kept me from actually like going in and check. I'm just going to say something and I'm going to be completely honest. And I haven't been honest about this. So I'm just going to be transparent with you guys. I have a weird anxiety about emails, about text messages, emails. I don't understand what it is. And maybe I bet you Misha can, because I think her and I have talked about this before. But just it's like an agoraphobia with emails and texts. But then there's other times where I'm feeling confrontational and I'll be like, yeah, not that there's going to be confrontations on my emails or texts, but when I'm feeling that way, I feel confident enough to look at them and to read them. It's why I take Seroquel, where I'm supposed to take Seroquel. I haven't in a really long time. I have 6 big bottles of it that I haven't taken. But I just have these weird panicky, stressful feelings about doing it. And that's why I'm so poor at it. But I go through, waves of I'm cool with it. And, everything's good. Everything's great. And then I have like weird anxiety. And especially if it's been a while, like 4 or 5 days, then I'm just like, I don't want to hear people saying, fuck you, Sam. Same thing with text, man. It's so weird. My family, my mom, dad, brothers, sisters, they hate it. They hate it. I've missed family events because of it. And it's just the weirdest thing. I've never talked about it with my therapist, but I've talked about the anxiety and like the fears, but not like regarding like emails and texts and things. But I should try to start taking my Seroquel again. It's just really hard for me, especially now being a YouTube creator, because I can't be drowsy. If I'm drowsy, I'm gonna, and I know eventually you build a level and you can just take it and sleep fine, wake up fine, and then my panic attacks will go away. But I don't know, to get to that point, it takes a few weeks and I'm just not ready to do it. And trust me, my wife and I, we've like, okay, I'm going to take a week off from this, or look, we have some extra money in the savings account this month. Why don't you take the 2 weeks and just, start taking your meds and sleep and, maybe, go for walks and, just try to get your mental health back on track. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I feel like, I got some videos to edit, or I want to do a live, and it's just it's a crazy thing. Yeah, that would be great. Awakened. We should do a collab or take abilities to create something to help with it, Sam. I'm this close. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be super cool. Yeah, no. No way. That's amazing. Jackie Azure has a flip phone to boot. And getting trapped. Yeah, that's nuts, Jackie. That's amazing. There's a woman that I'm very close to at my church. I mean, like really close with, and she has a flip phone, and I'm always giving her shit about it. And I'm like always like, hey, did you see that? I'm like, oh yeah, no, I forgot. She's like, you forgot what, honey? Oh, that you have a flip phone. I was gonna tell you about this like cool thing I seen, the coolest thing you've ever seen. But she's amazing. Just like you, Jackie. Amazing. Holy shit, what happened to that? Jen. It's like Sam Square. I think that's probably an emoji that, right? I always never know what that is. Should I go back and see what there's comments and questions? I feel like when I do, it's just a mess. I see there's a lot of people here. That's cool. A lot of people in the chat. That's awesome. When I'm doing stories like that, it's really hard for me to be in the chat at the same time. Each day yes, Jackie. Jackie Azure says, for all, I really mean it. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Each day we are here. Make the best. Amen. So anyways, guys, I think I started a couple of things. Jackie Azure said earlier, if this isn't another sign that we are living in some wickedness, we gotta be blind. Yeah, I mean, gosh, totally. Gimbal Shanks, thank you so much for the super chat or super sticker, or thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Gimbal Shanks. And Ned says, can I just say that I am in the middle of a ball session as we speak? But the good kind. I am blown away at the love I've been receiving lately, even though I am nothing more than a retired junkie. Jeez, Misha, that's a lot. And I know you know this, and I know Jen probably told you, but you deserve all that love, and we all do, especially when we are there's those are blessings, from the spark, right? The ball of light. And when we get those blessings, especially retired junkies like myself, we just feel so unworthy of it. And I know you're not that far behind in yourself, in your growth, that you don't feel well. I mean, I don't think we're ever quite think that we deserve good things or love from others, or just, nice things happening to ourselves. And we never really get there, right? Because of our past, even though, and And even as a Christians, like, because we can say, like, that's the reason why Paul is in the Bible, because he shows us all that we are worth it, salvation, and that it's okay. You know what? I think I'm here with my daughter alone, and my door is shut. But yeah, but I feel you. I feel you on that. But good for you, Awakened. I'm so glad you are here and my friend and a part of this community. And I love you. Bailey. Hello, Bailey. Hello, Clarice. Well, guys, I guess that's it. I might come back on later because I'm not doing anything tonight, but like kind of reorganizing my office. I like this situation here. Remember, I said I was going to get a chair instead of standing up. I got the chair from my tattoo shop. I have a ton of chairs in my waiting room, so I just stole one of my chairs from the tattoo shop, and I brought it home. And I kind of like this sitting here, but I don't know. I want to do something different. And does anyone here use OBS? Please let me know, because I just have one quick question. Oh, sweet. Well, I guess I have more than one quick question. I'm going to get a hold of you because I have some questions. So I downloaded OBS. I've made some things, right, to be fancy, and some stream element things, and some homemade stuff. I just want to know, is it a good idea to use OBS? Because I know how streamlined StreamYard is, and it's easy to use and it's nice, but there's some things that I want to do that StreamYard doesn't have, and that I know I can do on OBS. Yeah, Chrissy forgets. In for the old dirty bastard reference. Hell yeah. When I seen ODB, I knew you were talking about old dirty bastard. She's like, I know ODB. Hell yeah. Woo 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 woo. It's just scary because there's so much to be able to do. Call me Sam. We need to talk about a lot when you can. Okay, I will. And I'm guessing I have your number. You probably don't have my new number. You know what? I'm gonna do that tonight. Hand to God, I'm gonna call you tonight, or we can do a live or whatever. If you're going live tonight, then go ahead and go live, and I'll like try to get a hold of you before or after. But I'm here at the house alone just with Hazley tonight. She's probably already asleep because she had a long day. So and Mariana's out door dashing, trying to rescue this family from its financial burden. And it's like a double night when you DoorDash on Saturday night late. She gets like double the thing. So she's gonna be out late DoorDashing. Oh, that's dope. Christopher Katz was listening to Ice Cube and Pharmacite tonight. I'm a huge fan of Ice Cube. You probably can't see it, but I like the original Snoop Dogg. I don't like the new Snoop Dogg. I mean, I like him. I mean, I think he's funny, and like, it's just so funny how these old gangster dudes have become these like old men, and are just like, hi guys, but then try to be still cool. It's crazy. Bailey says it's Friday here. Yes, Danette, I'm going to do that with you live right now. And I'm not sighing because of that. I'm just sighing because Sam. Do you want me to block her? Oh yes. Yeah, always block her. Yes, I'm gonna send you my my number, or I will text you. I will text you, Jeanette. Oh yeah, it is Friday. Wait, is it Friday or Saturday? Oh shit, it's Friday. I thought I had church tomorrow. That's crazy. Yeah, the Chronic is probably the greatest rap album of all time. Of all time. I mean, if you're from the West Coast, that's your favorite album. Yes, I did want to go live with you tonight, Jen. I do remember. You want to still do that? I thought you were gone. But yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Hey, Heather Mack in the house. Heather Mack. I seen, do you guys remember? I know, I totally felt I'm doing something wrong right now. I feel like I totally like let you down right now for some reason. Like I promised something and didn't follow through. Shit. No, Lynn, don't go. Bye, Lynn. I love you so much. She sends me the most inspirational, beautiful links and pictures, and I share them with Mariana and sometimes Hazley. They're just awesome. She is an amazing soul. Lynn is. She's amazing. Okay, bye. And she's a lifesaver. I bought a Karen Reed coloring book. No way. No way. It has the fan in it. Yes. That's so dope. All right, guys. Well, that takes us to the end. You never know. We might go live again tonight. I'm feeling froggy. I'm wide awake. I am so awake. It's crazy. So I'm not gonna play that outro. Let's do one of the old school ones. Here, I'm gonna do the very, very first intro I made when I started this thing here with Tommy. Well, kids, you guys have an amazing evening. I will either see you tonight or tomorrow, one of the two. You guys are the best. Thank you for listening to me talk about this situation. I thought I was going to rant about it. And you know what? I just kind of just kept an even tone, and because it's a serious issue. And I just hope and pray no one here ever feels like that's okay, because I love each and every one of you guys. And it would break my heart if any one of us here did anything like that to anyone. So until next time, I am Sam, and this has been After the Bar.